Hello, cellos. This is a tutorial for Viva la Vida Part 3. So I'm going to start at the very end, at like measure 121. What I would suggest is to actually play this up in 4th position on the D string, extended, to get that quiet, smooth sound rather than on the big bright A. If it's on the D, it's a little more subdued. And we're supposed to be fading away. Just make sure that C sharp is nice and high. If you can do vibrato, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. There'll be enough people on both sides of that fence. Backing up a little bit, letters F and G. F and G. F I would also play in this place. But I would switch at G, the 2 measures before G, so that if you do 3 here, you're going to have to do 4 extended for the C sharp. So, but anytime that you have C sharp to G sharp, you're going to have to either do C sharp 2, G sharp 4, or whatever you're doing. Make sure that those C sharps that you're planning for the note that's coming next, so that you don't get stuck here and then have to, reach up between 3 and 4 from the C sharp to the G sharp. That's going to be messy and never in tune. So I would either put 2 on the C sharps and 4, or if you're going up here, you can also do a little bit of shifting back and forth. This is at letter G. That's going to be one of the places that is going to be the least idiomatic. Most of the song you can play position from the beginning through letter C, letter D. One place that I would shift out of 1st position is halfway between D and E at measure measure 69. If you look in your music, you'll see a lot of accents going back and forth between A and G sharp. So we want to bring out 1, 2, 3, and 3, 4. So the A's, you can, and whatever we need to do for bowing, you can go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I would do 2 ups in the 2nd measure, so you're going to end up with a down on the 3rd beat again. It'll be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, both times. That same thing. I will go ahead and mark it in the part so that you have an up bow on the 4th, 8th note of the 2nd measure of that pattern. That way you'll get a nice solid down for each of those accents. Well, not for each one, but for to be able to keep it. That otherwise you're going to get all tangled up and backwards. So you may need to practice those 4 measures by themselves a little bit to really get the 1, 2, 3, 4. We want 1, 2, 3, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 3, 4. And it's okay to play both, hitting the open string and the G sharp, or the that's okay if the bow hits the A string while you're playing the A here. But I would not go back and forth. That's going to be really messy going back and forth all of that time. If you do that, you can play it that way, but you have to work really hard on trying to be as close to double stops as you can and only move enough to get to one string or another, not big, because if you make a big movement, it'll be all messy and won't be able to be fast enough. I really recommend going up to putting your 2 on the A and go 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, all of that. Or and when we come out of it, when you've got that rhythm, this ostinato, this pattern that we have from the beginning for the whole first page and a half, and then again at letter E to F, that rhythm, you can choose whether you want the second measure to be down, up again, or 2 ups. So it's either going to be down, up, down, up. You can either do a second down bow on the second measure, or do 2 up bows at the beginning of that measure. So either way you do it, that's fine. Watch out for when the rhythms change. Like at measure 17, we introduce a little difference. When you have 8th rest and 3/8 notes, I would do those up, down, up every time it comes up. That goes back and forth between that rhythm and the first ostinato pattern rhythm a lot. Just be watching your music to see which one you're supposed to be playing. So at letter F, I would probably play this on the D string up in 4th position, just because then you can do vibrato on the long notes. You don't need to play an open A string with no vibrato. But you can do the 2 notes before G, the 2 measures before G on the open string, that's fine. Just make sure that they're all nice and short. So, shall we try and play it through once together? And we're done.